In 2020, I actually relocated to Seattle and started working for a lighting agency, doing lighting controls design and eventually programming. Did that for a couple years, and then in 2022, went back to project management with VECA Electric Technologies, and have been there ever since. Luminaire Level Lighting Controls, or LLLC, really kind of just came across my desk. We saw it a lot in commercial offices, starting to come into education. It was few and far between at the beginning. But I think LLLC is well suited for those kinds of environments, especially in a commercial office where there's a lot of different people in the space with a lot of different needs. One of the selling factors for Luminaire Level Lighting Control is, of course, its flexibility. In those office spaces, energy code is going to require much more fine control. In an open office space, you're limited to the amount of square foot in an occupancy sensor zone or a daylight zone. And so if you're not using Luminaire Level Lighting Control, you're going to have a lot of additional parts in order to meet that code. Luminaire Level Lighting Control allows you to customize it however needed, and it really takes a lot of the complexity out of the new energy codes and makes it simple. In retrofit applications, it can be really advantageous to use LLLC. As long as you have constant power to a location where you're putting a light, you can make LLLC work. So for areas where you're trying to deal with an existing wiring or it's buried in walls or something like that, LLLC is kind of the easy button for getting that to work. If you talk to any building engineer, someone that's going in and doing maintenance, you'll know that they get a lot of tickets about things that need to be adjusted. Whether a light's too bright or something's not working right. Luminaire Level Lighting Controls allows you to adjust any brightness levels that you need, but also it's pretty easy to figure out kind of where the issue is if lights aren't working. You don't have a switch leg coming from a remote relay. You don't have, separate dimming wires going to this fixture that could be an issue. The utility rebate aspect of it is something that really should be considered. They're not small for a lot of these fixtures and can really help offset the cost of a lot of lighting packages. And so you need to reach out to the utility to make sure that some of the fixtures, especially if your project has budget issues, can meet those rebates and that they're applied for. And so for a lot of these facilities where there's already power there, LLLC gives you a lot more control, a lot more flexibility than a distributed lighting control system. And it's going to be quicker to install, it's going to be simpler to install, and I think it's really something that should be considered.